What is your ideal setting for a home or a vacation home? Would it include mountains or lakes or forest? Well, I might have a place for you. I decided to bring you along for a weekend getaway to McCall, Idaho. McCall is 90 miles north of Boise, about a 2-hour drive into the Payette Forest to an elevation around 5,000 feet. When friends, family, or clients come into town, they'll ask me where they should go for a day trip, or perhaps they're looking for an overnight getaway. My first response is always McCall. So, welcome to McCall, Idaho, a sleepy resort town nestled in the heart of this beautiful state. What makes the city so special? Could it be its charming population or its dynamic seasonal changes as a premier resort town? Whatever the season, McCall delivers, and that's why my family, we try and get up here just as often as we can. With a population of around 4,000 full-time residents, McCall offers this tight-knit community vibe, but don't let its small size fool you. This city comes alive during peak seasons and holidays and holiday weekends, where the population can triple or quadruple in size. So the city has this natural rhythm where it grows to accommodate all those outdoor enthusiasts and visitors that are coming into town looking to experience adventure and the beauty of Payette National Forest. But when the vacationers go home, it returns to its small, charming self. In the summer months, McCall transforms into this bustling hub of activity. Tourists are flocking here to enjoy Payette Lake, and there's even a folklore about Charlie, the resident lake monster, sort of akin to the Loch Ness monster. There's so much hiking in the surrounding mountains, and then of course, the largest draw is the variety of water sports, from boating and fishing and paddleboarding and kayaking. There's just no shortage of ways to enjoy the sunshine and the natural beauty of this beautiful area. We try and get up here as often as we can during the summer months because our family loves to jet ski. So the local boat dock is never really that crowded. I mean, granted, we do try and avoid heading out during the more crowded holiday weekends like 4th of July or Memorial Day or Labor Day. But on a normal weekend, we can pull right up, unload the jet skis. My husband can go park the truck, and then within a few minutes, we're all out on the lake enjoying the speed and the sun. So long as I'm talking about water sports, there's also Cascade Lake, which is just outside of McCall in Cascade. It's another beautiful lake that gives you the opportunity to take advantage of even more water sports up here in Valley County. There are also a number of great golf courses in the area too. I'd love to show you those, but they're all covered in snow right now. So then let's talk about when winter hits and the landscape is all covered in snow, kind of like this. McCall becomes this winter wonderland, attracting skiers and snowboarders to its ski resorts like Brundage Mountain or Tamarack Resort. Tamarack is located in the neighboring village of Tamarack, which sits next to the city of Cascade. So my husband and kids, they're currently up skiing and snowboarding at Brundage Mountain right now. And when they get back to the cabin, if the kids still need to burn off more energy, we'll take them out sledding on a hill nearby. McCall is great for snowmobiling, ice fishing, and of course, ice skating too. Despite its seasonal fluctuations, McCall maintains this strong sense of community year-round. It has excellent schools providing quality education and a thriving business scene, catering to both locals and tourists. Downtown, you'll find quaint boutiques and art galleries and cute cafes and restaurants. So would you think of making McCall your home? Comment below. I'd love to hear if you could call this charming town that experiences true winters your full-time residence. Before I continue, let me introduce myself. I'm Erica Toffel, Global Real Estate Advisor with Group 1 Sotheby's International Realty. I specialize in helping you relocate to the Boise, Idaho area, and that can sometimes include extending your search to the beautiful city of McCall. I'm here to help with your real estate needs, whatever they might be. So reach out. My information is on the screen. And please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you get notified each time I drop a new video. And if you're watching on your television, you can scan the QR code to contact me directly. So let's explore the idea of living in McCall a little deeper. I tend to think there are two categories of people out there that are interested in McCall. One who would absolutely consider making this their primary residence. They love and embrace the mountain life. Then there are those who love and embrace the mountain life, but need or want to return to a larger city. Those folks would love to have a vacation or a second home up here, or possibly an investment property. So let's talk a little bit more about what that might look like. If you were searching for a second home or a vacation home or an investment property here in McCall. Because McCall is a small resort town, the amount of homes and available land within the city or built around the lake are fixed, which means it will naturally sit at a higher price point than you might find down the mountain in Boise. But there's still a wide range of options available. An investor might be interested in a 1-bedroom, 1-bath condo as you head into town for $260,000. Or we could jump up to a 2-bedroom condo within walking distance of Payette Lake for $375,000. But of course, if your ideal condo is 3 bedrooms, 3 bath, and has a view of the river, then we got you covered for $1.2 million. If condo living is not your style, then we could find you a 1-bedroom, 1-bath single-family residence for just over $400,000. You'd be right in the middle of the city and within walking distance to the lake. And it's all been remodeled. Or if you're just looking for space in the forest and you don't care if the home is 80 years old, then we can find you an acre of land with a home that needs some work for just under $500,000. And you'd be within a short bike ride of the lake and the downtown activities. Now, there are plenty of luxury homes in McCall too. But once you get above that $1 million price point, there may be more restrictions on your ability to use the home for something other than your own personal vacation home or your own personal full-time residence. But you could find new construction of 3,600 square feet for $1.7 million. Now, if you're feeling really adventurous, you could always pick up a $4.5 million, 1,700 square foot home that's 50 years old, but it resides lakeside. Yes, and you'd have your own dock. And there's no HOA to restrict how you use it, so you could certainly rent it out if you wanted. Of course, there are always mountainside options too, with views of the lake and the surrounding mountains. This one I'm thinking of is offering 13,000 square feet for $20 million. It's found within the exclusive neighborhood of Whitetail, which offers access to the Whitetail Golf Course, concierge service, a lakeside clubhouse. It definitely feels like an exclusive club. And if $20 million seems just a tad bit too high, there's also a 14,000 square foot home for sale in Whitetail for a mere $14 million. That house has hydronic floor heat throughout and snow melt systems for the driveway. Wow. Okay, so this all seems a little bit too extreme, and perhaps you just want to dip your hand in McCall for a couple of years to see if it really is your fit. Then you can always opt for a timeshare where you have a 1-week ownership of a property within the city of McCall. Prices will vary from as low as $1,800 to several $1,000s, depending on the time of year that your week resides. Of course, having a vacation home in McCall is not cheap, even if you're looking at a smaller property with a lower purchase price, because it's a resort town. Your water bill will always have a flat rate, and then usage will be above and beyond that. And depending on the property that you purchase, you may be using a propane gas tank to heat your home during the winter, and that's not inexpensive. And then, of course, there's your usual and customary maintenance that any home needs, especially in a climate that has such drastic changes as McCall. So if you're thinking that you want an investment property up here, I'd absolutely suggest getting a local property manager to check in on the place, because things can go wrong. Silly things like an oven that won't turn off or a toilet that's leaking. And if you're up here only periodically, you may not know until there's considerable damage. That's not to be said to scare you away from purchasing a home in McCall. Rather, it's to make sure you're going in with your eyes wide open. We love visiting here as much as possible throughout the year, and we're fortunate enough to be able to borrow a cabin from a family member. So we know firsthand when we've had to run up here on their behalf to check for some sort of issue going on in the home. Most recently, it was that the heat had stopped working on their home. We came up to find out that the vent going out the roof had been packed with snow and it just needed to be cleared off. It was something called a concentric vent. I don't know. It was a relatively easy fix though, thankfully. But these are always things to keep in the back of your mind when owning a vacation property or an investment property. Obviously, if you're living here in McCall full time, it's just like any other house and you're here to maintain it. And now let me ask a slightly different question than before. Could you see yourself owning a vacation or investment property in the city of McCall? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Ultimately, whether you're seeking adventure in the great outdoors or simply craving a slower pace of life surrounded by natural beauty, McCall, Idaho has it all. If you'll be visiting Boise and you have enough time to carve out a day trip or an overnight trip to McCall, I absolutely recommend taking the time. You might be surprised by what you find. And if you're looking for local recommendations on where to stay or where to eat or what to do while you're here, reach out. For more videos about Boise or McCall, Idaho, click on one of the other videos on the screen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.